So won't you please come home? Home, won't you please come home? Home, home.
Vamos! Olha para a Presidente Annie! Meu Deus, eu me apaixonei por o Josh. Oh, meu Deus. Estavam muito perto, meu Deus! Eu estava pensando ontem, eu não sei se a Gabrielly, a Presidente Gabrielly é humana. Ela é muito perfeita. Eu nunca vi um humano tão perfeito ou perfeita. É impossível. Eu não sei se a Gabrielly é humana. Eu não sei. Eu acho que não. Gente, eu não gosto muito de humanos, mas eu adoro, eu amo a Gabrielly. Explica! Explica! Oh. Estava usando... Isto vai me destruir. Oh. Eu ainda tenho que ver esse live, ainda não vi o live inteiro. Meu Deus, os olhos do Josh. Eu amo, eu amo. A gente tem que ver esse clipe. Eu amo tanto. Yes. Oh meu Deus. Ai, meu coração.
Será que isso é obra do destino? Pensando bem, contigo até
para com isso. Yes, talentoso, linda. O Josh, meu Deus, eu tentei dançar como o Josh, aleijei a perna.
Eu quero dizer pra ele que a rima fez efeito.
Olha para as sobrancelhas, foram para cima e para baixo. A maneira o Josh olha para as pessoas me mata. Meu Deus, eu não sei como ele faz isso, mas ele olha para ti e você está do chão. Esses olhos azuis. Eu não sei como uma pessoa não consegue gostar do Josh. Não sei. Não sei o que é que está passando mal da cabeça de uma pessoa para não adorar o Josh. Oh meu Deus! Ah. Eles têm muito momento. Eles têm muito momento juntos. Muitos. Ai, eu adoro essa parte. Por favor. Eu tenho que mesmo ver essa live agora. Sorriso de uma... Outro sorriso. Meu Deus, olha para o sorriso da Annie. Rainha do mundo inteiro. Mulher mais poderosa do Brasil e do mundo. A Annie tá... Eu só estou a ver perfeição. 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 Eu nem sei dizer essa palavra bem, mas eu só vejo isso. Eu amo quando o Josh canta também. Eu amo tudo do Josh agora. Yes!
da cor do seu cabelo, que ela faz minha pupila
O quê? O Josh deu a Annie flores? Foi isso?
Eu quero dizer pra ele que a rima
Isso é
fez
para
efeito.
chorar, meu Deus.
Pensa o dia inteiro, só ele faz minha pupila dilatar.
Meu Deus, o Josh era tão novo. Nem parece o mesmo. Nem parece o mesmo. Essa, desculpa dizer, essa foto aqui é tudo. Essa foto aqui é tudo. Eu vou parar de falar. Oh, acabou. Annie, January 14th, 2019. I put my legs together, making them straight, and lowered my spine, leaning my palm on the mat. I stayed for a few seconds like this, taking a deep breath and enjoying the silence of the training academy. Practice would start in half an hour, and we usually arrive 15 minutes early to stretch and warm up. However, today I felt I needed some time alone in this place, without 39 people talking and doing acrobatics, without voices shouting words of encouragement or anger. They usually would mix it. Without any of that, just me, the mat, the silence, and my thoughts. 2 days ago, on Saturday, we received news that Monica, our coach and official coach of the Naravo cheer team for 20 years, suffered an accident. She had a serious leg injury and would need physical therapy, meaning she couldn't train us any longer for some time. The whole team was devastated. We all love Monica, and she is, without a doubt, the most important piece of the cheerleader team at Naravo College. We, the athletes, are the ones who do the physical part of everything. But Monica is the one who architects, structures, thinks, and assembles each and every movement we make in the routine. If anything is wrong, no matter how small it is, Monica always finds a way to fix it. If any of us are injured or need assistance in our personal lives, Monica is there to help and support us. If we don't try hard enough on our practice, she is there to scold us in an elegant way that only she can manage. Basically, Monica is our second mother. For many of us, she is even the first one. Meu Deus, eu já estou amando essa história. Because of that, I can't sleep well since we heard about her accident. Be coached by another person that isn't Monica just doesn't sound right to me. Even though I've been trained by many other coaches within my career as a cheerleader, now it just seems weird. And it wasn't even the worst because nobody told us who's gonna be the new coach. Even Monica didn't want to tell us, saying that it was just gonna be a pleasant surprise and we were gonna love it. I doubt that. I'm doing my stretch, stretching my legs, arms, cracking my whole body before going to the end of the mat. I take a deep breath, trying to clear my mind and take away all of the nervousness. With my feet tied up and my arms stretched, I push my body forward, beginning a sequence of round off, followed by tree back, hand spinning, and finishing with the 2 layout twist. I keep going with the tumbling, training, and jumps too. In a short amount of time, I hear some voices entering the gym. That is Kelly Finglass. Não sei se eu disse esse nome bem. An excited voice that I soon recognize is coming from Cena. Yes, Cena! Says seconds before the doors open. Besides her, there's Noah. Yes, Noah! Lamar and Sabina! Tudo! Gente, tudo. Cena, are you insane? She's the Dallas coach, Lamar says, making a weird face and putting his bag in the bench. But, oh my god, I wouldn't complain if it was her. She's so amazing. He kept talking, putting his hand on his chest, sighing with fake sadness. Lamar is one of the hearts of the team. He is, with no exception, one of the best, and one of the most experienced cheerleaders on the team. Besides that, Lamar already suffered much more than I can think of. He told us some things, but I know that it wasn't everything he went through. And what I know is enough to figure out Lamar is one of the strongest people I know. Him and also Noah, I would say. Noah lost his mother around 14 years of age. Oh, Noah perdeu a mãe. Oh, meu coração! Before he got into high school. And they always suffered a lot with the financial question. Even though his mom always found a way to pay his practices and his gym, because Noah had the dream to be a cheerleader, since he learned how to walk. Nobody knew how his mother could pay the practices, championships, the hotels and the transportation, when they had to travel. However, she always did it. One day after her death, Noah had an important competition with his team. He did it, with the entire audience screaming his name as he won. Noah ganhou. As Noah couldn't pay his bills anymore, his friends from the team opened a donation, and in a few days they got more than $28,000. And this was enough to pay all the costs as a cheerleader and his learning. Since then, he lives with a woman he calls Cheer Mum, the mum of one of his best friends from childhood. I used to be his partner in practice. Noah isn't just one of the strongest people I've met, but is also the light of the team. Nobody ever saw him down. He was the one that screams his lungs out all the time. While the others are practicing, he screams words of support and encouragement. Screams to counting that we don't get lost. Screams anything that will make us less nervous. There isn't a single person that doesn't like him. Gabrielly. Noah screams as soon as he sees me, running into me. He takes me off the ground and spins me in the air, making me laugh out loud. I knew he could brighten me up a little bit today. You got here early, love. I needed some time alone here, I say, fixing my ponytail, and Noah agreed like he understands what I'm trying to say. In a few minutes, all the team is spread through the gym, some of them practicing on the mat, and the others wondering who could be our new coach. I really think nobody liked the idea of it not being Monica, but there's nothing we can do. When the door opened and Bailey, Monica's assistant, came in, a nervous silence got into the gym. He raises one of his eyebrows and stops beside the table that him and Monica used to share during some parts of our practice, watching us and analyzing. I don't remember the last time you guys were quiet like this, he says, with a smile on his face. He doesn't seem to be nervous at all. Some of us laugh and he says, y'all have a terrible face on. This seems like a funeral. Make these expressions better because in a few minutes, you're gonna meet who's gonna be your new coach during Monica's absence. And I don't want you guys to give this a bad first impression. He commands, making gestures with his hands, and he sits down in his chair. The chats are back. A little bit lower now that I look around. Even though everyone is really upset with Monica's time off, nobody seems to be as affected as I am. What a terrible face, Annie, Cena says, stopping in front of me. I frown my forehead and sigh. I can't accept this, I say softly, as she raises her eyebrows. She can't be replaced this close from Dayton. This is going to tear us down. Cena rolls her eyes and puts her hand on my shoulders. Looking at me, she usually does this before giving me an indirect summon. Cena, we are one of the best, Annie, and our college knows this, so they would never put someone to coach us that isn't in our level. And besides that, look around you, she says. And I do it, looking at the majority, standing up to warm up. Nobody here is a beginner, Annie, and we should know what to do. And there isn't any coach that would take us off the 13 times that we were national champions. As soon as she finishes talking, I turn to answer her. The door is open and a silence even worse than before took around us. Everything happens in slow motion, like a Hollywood movie. The door is open and my eyes lay down to it. After seconds of a male figure coming in, slowly walking to us, eu acho que é o Josh. Eu acho que é o Josh. Meu Deus. Seconds after, a male figure comes in, slowly walking to us, looking to every single one of our faces with a neutral expression. Like we already knew him and he wasn't surprised to see us there. When he gets close enough and his eyes find me, I recognize him. For many times he appeared on TV, holding an award or giving an interview. From the many times I saw him on the cheerleader magazines, I have been in my room. From the few times Monica mentioned him in a casual talk without that much importance, but I remember now. Hello everyone, I'm Josh. He says with a calm voice, crossing his arms and giving a tiny slight smile. Your new coach. I'm uncomfortable. Our new coach didn't say anything besides show me what you guys have of the routine. Just like that, I was wanting a tiny speech, some kind of we hope we can have a good session together, something about Monica as their friends, any stupid thing, but no, he didn't. He didn't seem to care about any of this. It's not bad. We could get a lot better, he says when he finishes the first part of the routine. Now, the pyramid. Warm up. That is when everything gets worse. We are already nervous with him and his presence is much more as intimidating for us. But I don't care about his rude presence. And all of our nerves just get bigger as a pyramid is one of the hardest ones in Naravo cheer team history. Pyramids are the most important part of the routine. The choreography, the sequences, the other moves are important too, but nothing compared to the pyramid importance. It is the heart of the routine. Before Monica's accident, we were focusing just in the pyramids practice because she did an extra hard sequence. It took a whole semester to build it up, but we took so many days just to get a simple basket right. That's why when Josh asked us so naturally just to do the warm-up without even asking how our pyramid is, well, I think that's stupid. Gabrielly! Just like he did with Monica, we start with Sabina, Lamar's, and James' stunt. The first sequence is good, as usual. Noah screams the counts and says stuff like, "Let's go girl, hold her." When Sabina does a back handspring and Lamar holds her belly to lift her up and let her feet in his hands, he's unable to hold her up and she slides her feet, falling into James's arms. Lamar snorts. Oh my god, there is barely any time for Sabina to put her feet on the mat before turning around and walking away. Looking clearly frustrated, he always does that when he fails. He shows the biggest disappointment and anger possible and doesn't want to keep trying. "I'm tired," he says, rubbing his sweaty forehead. "Take a breath, guys," Bailey says. "This attitude has to stop, Lamar. It is okay to make mistakes sometimes, but it is unacceptable to walk away angry instead of stopping, smiling and saying let's do it again." Everyone is silent. This is not new to us. Monica always tells us the same thing, but for Lamar it's a little difficult not to have that attitude. Monica once told me that it's the way he was raised and how he learned to deal with difficulties. Or Josh begins his expression with showing some disapproval towards Lamar. Just try and fix it. To be honest, I didn't understand. He just walked away before trying to fix it when James could have held the stunt. Why exactly did you not restart the count before running away, Lamar? Everyone looks at him closely, and I notice Lamar takes a deep breath with his eyes closed. He's probably holding himself back from being rude to the coach, and I know he wouldn't do that even if all of his instincts told him to. I talked to Monica and she told me about it. She said something about you getting too high when you hold a stunt. And it does happen. Although his words couldn't sound so rude, his tone does. And of course his expression doesn't let me figure out the way he feels. Lamar sits on the mat and Josh approaches him as if to say, "You either get up or I'll force you up myself." Girl. Which part? Let me see. Bailey approaches him, showing him the recording. That is as common as daylight. They always record every practice to use it to analyze errors and to see what needs to be improved. Monica spent hours looking through these recordings. "I need to be focused. I know I'm distracted," he says, looking at Josh, almost pleading. Knowing him as I do, I know Lamar is desperate for the new coach to like him and approve him. He's terrified of being taken out of Dayton. Coach doesn't show any reaction, just nods. "I need to be sure that you can fix your part." Lamar shakes his head frantically, and I find it bizarre the way Josh talks to him like he's been our coach for years. It bothers me a little. He's acting like Monica. He's not her. "I'll fix it," Lamar says firmly, and last, and Josh just turns and goes back to his desk. Starting over, he says loudly and turns to speak to Bailey. I can hear whispers like Lamar, Bad Attitude, and Dayton. The last one makes me shudder, but I just ignore it and just turn to my teammates. After 3 exhausting times, Lamar finally manages to hold Sabina at the stun, and they end the sequence with a smile on their face. Josh, however, doesn't smile even once. Josh just shakes his head when they get the stunt right, as if to say, you finally did your duty. As soon as the practice is over, some of us go to the assistants who take care of our physique. Since Josh made sure that we feel a lot of pain in every part of the body until the end of practice. I'm sitting next to Cena while Kiki tapes my ankles. His difficult but incredible. Cena speaks smiling at me, and I make a face. I look away, finding Josh sitting at the table while Bailey gestures in front of him. He seems interested, and I notice he's always with his arms crossed. It's exactly what everyone says. Kiki says, looking at him from under her lashes with an amused smile. I like him. I think he's a pain in the backside, I say, feeling pricks on my ankles. He acts like he's been a coach for years. Not even Monica is that arrogant. He's the best coach in the country, Annie. And I think he has the right to be like that, huh? After all, he is where he is now. Cena shrugs. But that doesn't convince me. He didn't even ask our names. He didn't even want to know about the team, what our skills are, nothing. Josh is alone now and is holding a folder. His thumbs holds a few sheets up while he reads the bottom one. And for the first time in hours, I see his expression change. One of his eyebrows raise and he seems quite interested in what is written. Do you think he should already know about all of this? I hear Cena's voice. I turn to look at her. Her foot is already bandaged and she is already packing her things to leave. Monica said that everything, or almost everything, and several of us are known in the cheer world. Most of our team is very famous. It's difficult for someone in the cheer world to not know us. Maybe he didn't ask because he already knows what he needs to know. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense, but he could have at least asked for politeness. Yeah, I whisper, turning around looking at him again, and I'm surprised when I meet his eyes on mine. Josh looks at me in the neutral way he looks at everyone, and it doesn't take more than 5 seconds for his eyes to go back to the papers in his hands. I decide not to stay there for another minute, and I put on a sweatshirt, walking awkwardly to the exit. My ankle hurts, but I'm more than used to it by now. The cold air hits my face, I shudder, and my eyes go into a silver BMW parked in the coach's spot. Arrogant, and likely millionaire. What a stupid cliche, man. I touch my pocket looking for my cell phone, but it's not there. I look through all my bag and I don't find it. So I have to go back to the gym. I go to the training center and see it on the bench. I probably forgot to pick it up after Kiki finished my ankle. I pick it up and I'm walking back to the exit, but a low voice stops me. It comes from the locker room and it looks like Josh's. Even though I know that eavesdropping is wrong, I approach slowly to the side of the half-open door, managing to hear better. It was okay, he says. His tone sounds different from the one he used in practice. It's more calm. They're great, Monica. My heart gives a little squeeze when I hear that he's talking to my coach and that she must be suffering more than we are for not being here. We need to talk more about Lamar later, and Noah. I'm very interested on the person he is. Of course, everyone's interested in the wonderful person Noah is. Yes, they're great. Oh, and I read the notes Bailey handed me. I'm a little impressed, and I'll be watching those things at night practice. He's silent for a few seconds and lets out a light laugh. Yes, I'll take care of them, I promise. My heart squeezes even more and I want to curse whoever is the damn person who caused the accident in Monica and made it impossible for her to train us. Tomorrow, I'll stop by at your house. Take care, Mon. I run discreetly to the exit, hoping he doesn't realize I spied on him. I get in my car and head towards the dorm, trying not to think about the whole situation. And in the arrogance in a person who is my new coach. Gente, e se foi a primeira parte do fanfic Cheering You? Tudo! Gente, eu tentei a primeira vez ler em português, mas eu não conseguia. Eu estava a dizer muitas coisas erradas. Então eu estou lendo em inglês. Eu estou a meter a versão portuguesa para vocês lerem. Eu espero que vocês não importem. Mas sinceramente, gente, eu estou amando esse fanfic. Tudo vai estar na descrição em baixo. Essa primeira parte a gente acabamos de ler. A Annie não está muito gostando do Josh, mas eu sei, isso vai virar amor. Sempre acontece dessa maneira. Se vocês querem parte 2, não esqueçam de botar like do vídeo agora. And you guys, don't forget to turn on all post notifications. E também, galera, não esqueçam de se inscrever no meu canal para assistir mais vídeos do Now United. Ok, gente, até o próximo vídeo. Amo vocês muito. Tchau!